A couple of big Hollywood names and one NFL owner are in some legal trouble this morning. Attorney and legal analyst Sara Azari is here to talk about Empire star Jussie Smollett, R. Kelly, Patriots owner Robert Kraft. So let's start with R. Kelly. A lot happening just this morning.
Right. R. Kelly appeared in court. He entered a not guilty plea. He's detained on $1 million bond. That's $250,000 per victim. There's 4 victims. And it looks like he doesn't have money to bond out. You know, he's got to put up $100,000 cash, and he's having troubles. This case is going to be challenging for the defense. Number one, there's multiple victims. It's not just one person coming out and saying that they were assaulted. There seems to be a similarity in their stories. And the concept of prior bad acts, you know, the prosecution is going to try to introduce other women's testimony who are not part of this case to establish a pattern and a motive by R. Kelly, because as we know, over the years, there's been a lot of rumors that this has been going on, that he's been doing this with young girls. Statute of limitations is not an issue. The prosecution had until these girls turned 38, so that's not an issue. Consent is not an issue because, again, they were minors at the time of the incident, so the fact that, you know, the defense attorney says they were consenting doesn't matter. Consent's not a defense. I also have to say that we are in the era of Me Too, time's up, and we're not going to take this crap anymore. And for the defense attorney to come out and say that not one but all 4 girls are lying, I thought that was really ballsy and inappropriate in this climate. We are in a time where we believe victims more than we ever did before. So to blame them and shame them is not a good strategy.
Well, and here's the other thing. When he went before the judge this morning, they told him they would see him again on the 22nd of March. So this case certainly not over. What will that appearance be about?
Right, that will be a pretrial appearance. There's going to be a series of pretrial appearances. There's going to be motions, you know, like the prior bad acts. The defense is going to try to keep it out by having a motion heard by the judge. So this case is going to get litigated. The defense is going to investigate. They're going to attack the authenticity of the VHS videotape. They're going to attack any DNA evidence that the prosecution claims they have. They're going to try to challenge as much as they can. One more thing, if I may add, the challenge for the prosecution here is going to be the passage of time. You know, this is from 1998 to 2010. These victims are naturally not going to remember details like where they were, who, date, time. Naturally, they're not going to remember those things. And that's what the defense is going to use to poke holes in the prosecution's case.
All right, let's move on to Jussie Smollett now.
Right.
What's next for him?
Also in Cook County. There's a lot cooking
going on
in Cook County. So Jussie Smollett, there's reports this weekend that the check, the $3,500 check, may not have been for this hoax of a crime, but rather for personal training and a nutrition plan, because one of these brothers had been his personal trainer. There's Venmo payments from the past. He was prepping for a video shoot. We're already seeing some, you know, challenges to some items of evidence. With that case, look, he's now a defendant. He's been convicted in the court of public opinion, but he has constitutional rights. He is presumed innocent at this time.
Even if the police department already said you're guilty?
So inappropriate. But let me tell you this. I believe the police department, they were inappropriate and really, you know, making him out to be a convicted felon. But I think part of it was his own lawyer's fault. His lawyers threw the Chicago police under the bus. Look, if my client was being accused of messing with the police, sending him out on a wild goose chase, I would go behind closed doors. I would placate, I would beg for a break for my client, and I would really get to the bottom of what my client's problem is and get him the help that he needs. If he's really innocent, then all this evidence needs to be challenged. You better have a motive for why these brothers would make this up. I mean, that's a big question everyone has. But if he's not, these lawyers need to stop throwing shade on the Chicago Police Department and really focusing on what is going on with their client and getting the help he needs, because this is about mitigation.
We have about 30 seconds left. We have to ask you about Robert Kraft before you go. Bring us up to speed on that.
So Robert Kraft is one of 200 men in South Florida who has been charged, and in his case arrested, for this human trafficking scheme. Essentially, this is about solicitation of prostitution, a nothing burger charge, and in court is probably going to be a slap on the wrist, a fine, maybe an infraction, and a dismissal, right?
But the bigger issue you were saying is going to be the human trafficking
is human trafficking. This is an investigation that's gone on pursuant to search warrants for many, many months. And, you know, we have to remember with this man that he has not just got the stake in court, but he's got to deal with the NFL as well. And I'm not sure if that's going to be as happy of an ending, pun intended, as it is in court.
All right, Sarah, we'll leave you with the final word there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.